Hello and welcome to today's math lesson. Today we're going to continue on with lesson 8-4 and we're going to be talking about elimination, and we're going to take elimination and we're going to put it into real life problems and solve some word problems today. So, all right, Bryce is spending some money on some apples and some pears. At another store, he could have bought the same number of apples for 32 cents and the same number of pears for 39 cents for a total of $3.62. So how many apples and how many pears did Bryce buy? All right, so at the first store, let's first of all say that X is going to stand for apples, and that Y is going to stand for pears. All right, so the general equations that we're going to first have here from the first store, he had it's 64 cents per apple, and it is 45 cents per pear, and he spent $5.26. All right, at another store, looks like he bought apples at 32 cents and the same number of pears at 39 cents. And here he spent $3.62. All right, to solve this problem, we need to make sure that we can either get rid of X's or Y's. And when I look at these X's, the first X is 64 cents. And the second X is 32. So what I'm going to do is keep this first one the same. I'm going to keep it at 0.64X plus 0.45Y, and he spent $5.26. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to multiply everything here by a -2. -2, -2, -2. So when I multiply everything by a -2, I get negative 0.64 cents. And that's the point here, is I want these X's to cancel out. And this is going to be a negative 0.78 cents. And then it's going to be a negative $7.24. All right, I'm going to add these up. And the whole point of me doing this is I want my X's to cancel out. And negative 0.78 is going to be negative 0.33y, and negative $7.24 plus $5.26 is going to be a negative $1.98. And when I divide both sides by a negative 33 cents, divide by a negative 33 cents, I get y equals 6. So what does that mean? That means we bought 6 pears. Bought 6. Oh, so I guess I could put that in that blank. Bought 6 pears. So now I'm going to go back into any equation I want. Let's just do this one right here, this 0.32x plus 0.39, and I'm putting in a 6, equals $3.62. So when I plug that back in, I gotta take 0.39 times 6 is $2.34. So now I'm going to subtract $2.34 from each side. So I get 0.32x equals, and I get $1.28. All right, and when I take $1.28, 3.62 minus 2.34, $1.28, and I divide by 32 cents, divide by 32 cents on each side, I get X equals 4. So that means I bought 4 apples. All right, so Bryce bought 4 apples and 6 pears. All right, let's try another one. All right, and this one, at Raging River Sports, polyester filling sleeping bags sell for $79. Down-filled sleeping bags sell for $1.49. In 1 week, the store sold 14 sleeping bags. So X is going to be the polyester-filled bag. So this is what X is going to be. And then Y is going to be the down-filled bags. All right, so write a system that we can get. Well, we know that there was a total, X plus Y. The total of number bags sold was 14. And then we know we're going to have 79X plus 149Y. And how much total money did they spell? Was $1,456. All right, so now we have our two equations. And so part B, how we can explain by solving by multiplying and subtracting, is I'm going to choose to get rid of my x's. So I'm going to multiply this top equation by a negative 79. I'm going to multiply top equation by negative 79. Negative 79, negative 79, negative 79. So when I do that, I end up with negative 79x and then negative 79y, and 14 times 79 is going to be negative 1,106. So when I multiply everything by that negative 79, the whole point of me doing that is so that my x's are going to cancel out, and 149 minus 79 is going to be a 70. And when we subtract these over here, we get 350. Now we're going to divide both sides by 70. So y is 5. What does that mean? Y is 5. So how many of each type? I bought 5 down-filled sleeping bags because I have the y over here. So I have y here. And then if we go back to this equation, we had the equation x plus y equals 14 total bags sold. Well, I know there were 5 of these. So how many does that leave for the other kind? So when we subtract 5 from both sides, we get x equals 9. So 9 polyester filled. All right, so first we come up with our system, then we multiply so that we can eliminate a variable, and we ended up with y, so 5 down filled and 9 polyester filled. All right, so here are the problems everyone loves. Twice a number plus twice a second number. Well, we're going to say first number is x and second number is y. So when you say twice a number, that means twice x, because that was our first number, plus twice the second number, and they say you get 310. The difference means what? Difference means subtract. When you take and subtract the two numbers, they say you're going to get 55. All right, so we can choose to get rid of x or y's here. It doesn't matter. I'm going to choose to get rid of y's because one of them's positive and one of them's negative. So I'm going to keep the top one the same. I'm going to keep this one exactly the same. 2x plus 2y equals 310. And I'm going to multiply this one by 2. So I get 2x minus 2y is 110. So now when I add these up, 2x plus 2y is 4x, and our y's cancel out. And 310 plus 110 is going to be 420. And now when we take 420 and we're going to divide by 4, we get x equals, what's that? 105. So the first number x is 105. So let's put in here 105 minus y equals 55. So I'm going to subtract 105 from both sides. So when I do that, I get negative y equals, what's that, negative 50. So we're going to divide both sides by negative 1, and y equals 50. So the two numbers are 105 and 50. And explain what I did is I used elimination. All right, we have one last problem to try and squeeze in here and see if we can get it to work out here. All right, a farm sells apple pies and jars of applesauce. The table shows the number of apples needed to pick. Yesterday, the farm picked 169 Granny Smith, and it picked 95 Red Delicious. Okay, I'm going to say pies is X and applesauce is Y. So I'm going to set up my Granny Smith equation is going to be 5X plus 4Y, and I had a total of 169 apples. And then in my other equation, I'm going to say 3X plus 2Y, and it was a total of 95. All right, so now I think I'm going to get rid of the Y's here. So I'm going to keep this one the same. So I get 5X plus 4Y equals 169. Now I'm going to multiply everything by negative 2. So I get negative 6X, negative 4Y, and this is going to be a negative 190. Now when we add this up, we get negative 1X. My Y's cancel out, and this is going to be a negative 21. So when I divide both sides by negative 1, I get X equals a positive 21. So what does that mean? Is I made 21 pies were made. Now let's go plug in that 21 for X. Let's just do it in this top equation here. So 5 times 21 plus 4Y equals 169. So 5 times 21, what's that, 105? Now let's subtract 105 from both sides. So 4y equals 9 minus 5 is 4, 6 minus 0 is 6, and 1 minus 1 is 0. Divide both sides by 4, and 64 divided by 4 is 16. So that means 16 jars of applesauce were made. So how many pies and jars of applesauce were made? Well, they made 21 pies and 16 jars of applesauce. All right, hope this helps with the word problems that you run into on today's homework assignment. Good luck.